Good morning, Trinidad and Tobago. Welcome back to Pep Talks. I know we have been out for what it was a week, 2 weeks.
Um, no, it was just last Wednesday and Friday, but everybody behaving like they're dying without us, which is very flattering.
Thank you. Yes, the
It was just
calls of concern and so forth. Guys, thank you
thank
so
you
much.
guys.
Yes, but we are back. We are alive.
Ish. Good morning, Trinidad and Tobago. Thank you guys for joining us for this hour. We've definitely missed you guys. And happy Valentine's Day. Do you guys have anything planned special with your loved ones or with your
Ooh, you're
secret
outside,
crush?
man. Your side chick.
Yeah, exactly. We don't judge here. We don't judge here. It will be unfortunate though that we would mean that we might have to talk about you on a show if things go awry. So please be safe, guys.
Be safe. See
But
how things still dangerous in this country now more than ever, I guess. Forgive me, I have to eat cricks. I feel as though I didn't eat in days. Days. You have no
Thank
idea.
you. What was this? A blaming you, because I was fine and then you give me your bug, right?
And the thing is, I to me, I thought it was just a sore throat from Sahara dust because that is what was in the air around that time. And I am accustomed having serious allergic reactions with the Sahara dust. I normally
Yeah,
would break out on my skin, I would get sore throats, and I would be forever coughing with the Sahara dust in the air. My
yeah,
eyes
yeah.
watering and all these different things, right? So I assumed it was that because everything started off like that.
Uh-uh. No. And when I started to feel it, it would have been the Monday night because I was a polling agent
Mm.
and sitting down in that school, waiting for the ballots to be counted. And I could not find a comfortable spot or position on that chair. My body was just hurting me. It was a surprise I was able to drive from David to home,
Mhm.
and then that was it for me. There was no comfortable way to be. It was uncomfortable standing, it was uncomfortable lying down, it was uncomfortable sitting. The body pains was so severe, and it was fever, it was headache, it was nausea, it was bad. It
Yeah.
was bad.
And
But
then
thank God.
I got those, well, some of those same things around Monday too. Because
Yeah.
after the show, we did the show Monday,
Yes.
right? And we were normal, and then I realized I was like, you're feeling like when you take drowsy medication and starting to kick in. That's how I started to feel. I was like, what the hell is this?
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yep. And then my mom, God bless her heart, came to make sure that I had everything that I needed, but treated me like patient zero, would not come into my house, dropped everything by the door, was double masked up with a face screen. And I was like, Mommy, it's not that serious. And really and truly, all I wanted was a hugger. And she's like, No, I can't come any closer because she lives with my grandmother who is 96, and she didn't want to, in the absence of not knowing what exactly was wrong with me, didn't want to take any chances.
Yeah.
So thank you, Mommy, for taking care of me. I am much better. I mean, she bring the world of things. She brings zinc and she bring peppermint oil and ginger tea, and I mean, she was awesome. And the sweetest oranges one would ever have.
Yeah, you took the zinc and all of that?
I took everything. She also brought me ivermectin. I told you that.
Yeah,
And I took that Tuesday, and by Wednesday, I started to feel a little better. And every day that I took it, I was significantly better than the day before.
I was just real tired too, so it's plenty lying down and taking it easy. And my husband only pulling, "You're minding this thing, you're minding this thing, get up, get up." It's a mind over matter thing. And it's like, look, you trying to kill me.
It's not that. It's not that at all. It's not that at all. Because it had some day I told you I felt well enough, and I take my fast self and I went and clean out my fridge,
Mm,
wipe it down and whatnot. And by the night I had crashed again. So it's for you to take it easy and allow your body to recuperate and things like that. You guys
yeah,
could tell us in the comments if you guys had a touch of this flu, what you guys did to overcome it, what you're taking.
yeah. This is no joke, but
Yeah.
somebody asked if you're taking the horse, the wormer.
Yeah. Um, well, I would say, boy, it worked.
Yeah, but the amount of emergency and vitamin C that I was taking.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Pharmacy Central.
Yeah,
Pharmacy
it
Central.
was intense.
And I can
Intense.
understand how people who have pre-existing conditions, especially conditions that has to do with their breathing and any respiratory conditions, how they can suffer really badly because you're feeling this tightness on your chest, you know,
Yeah.
and
But the important thing is to not panic though, and don't get so afraid that it hampering you from doing what you have to do, because that's what is get cause it to get worse.
you
But
know,
other than that,
thank God. It's good to be back.
yeah, I mean, I'm so
What
tired.
what's been going on in Trinidad and Tobago?
Well, other than the fact that the prime minister get catching some bullshit again with I was watching the Anil Roberts where he did the video talking about um this person
Possibly
allegedly have
have twin
twins for this man.
girls for him.
And there's a video circulating of the prime minister in some sort of shop with a woman. I don't know if that's the same woman.
But that's not him though. I saw that video. That's not him though.
Is it?
No, it's not him. It's a look-alike. The person looks like him a lot, but it's not him.
Oh, okay.
It's not him. I don't know what to make of the story that Anil broke about the fact that he allegedly has twin girls, and apparently we the taxpayers are bearing the brunt of that because he would have gotten a home for this woman with these two children at Victoria Keys.
Mm-hmm.
Taxpayers paying for that. But I mean, I don't know. I think there's yet to be more. We need to uncover more evidence because he took so long to even own up to the fact that he had children um, before he was even married and whatnot. He took really long to claim those boys. So it might be a while before he actually says, "Well, yes, those are actually my children." I mean, I don't leave. I mean, I don't think it's beyond him, but
Nothing surprises me anymore with this man
yeah,
because it's like
it
God.
won't surprise you.
What would surprise me though is his wife taking all of this so gingerly and like, oh yes, I just love an unfaithful man.
Um, I think that's the whole thing. being in public life is a funny thing. I don't think she's necessarily happy. I don't
And
think
then
she's necessarily happy, but I mean, you have to save face. You're the first lady,
so save who
and
faces
whatnot.
on because she ain't saving her. She just looking like a jackass because your man blatantly embarrassing you all over the freaking world.
Yeah.
And you what saving his face because all she doing is telling other women to accept the bullshit. That's what she's doing.
I wonder if she want to talk about it. I mean, Sharon,
Accept the
you could call
horn,
into the show.
take the jamming. You're embarrassing yourself. Don't stand up for that's some sort of abuse she under there. If these allegations are true, then that is a form of abuse she's under. Why would you accept that? To be embarrassed so?
Well, I
In the
mean,
first
what you
place,
gonna
as
do?
he should be the one to say, oh God, no, I cannot do anything to embarrass my wife. Because of the position I hold, I should not do anything to embarrass my wife.
I mean, you would find when it comes to people and their indiscretions, the last thing they'd be thinking about is anybody who could potentially be hurt or embarrassed by their actions, right?
I
So
wonder
from
if
the
he even
moment,
have a relationship with his daughters.
mm,
Well, the papi show pictures they'll be posting up to show people they so together. And then yet still you hearing all these rumors about outside children all over the place. Twins in your old horny goat weed tail. Twins?
well, no, well, apparently it does work though. I am very uncomfortable thinking about Keith Rowley in that position. I don't want to. Um, but I think this is a thing with powerful men. You believe that you're untouchable and that you could do what you want with who you want when you want it.
Yeah,
I
but what
would
does it say
be
about those women though? Those home wreckers.
is she though? I mean, that is a delicate balance. I mean, yeah, she's supposed to know better, but she could only do what he allows. If you are married, right? If you married, the
Mm-hmm.
only person who you could only is only you could allow somebody to come between you and your spouse. It's just
Yeah,
she could only do what he whatever. Ah,
that is a tough cookie to to break there because
it is. Definitely it is.
somebody bought that man is the village ram. He just sharing the honey goat weed all over the place. Clearly. And I don't know what it is about, you know, Shogunas this man have a serious problem with. Shogunas is always on the top of his tongue to blame for something, boy. Who could?
Oh no no. Well, apparently he is holding the UNC and the MP for Shogunas um to task for prostitution in that area. And it's like Philip says, Keith Rowley does know of all the crimes taking place, where it happening, right? And always could find somebody else to blame for it. And I'm like, okay, so, but what are you tasking your Minister of National Security about to do about it, or your Minister of Social Development? I'm like, why are you tasking the government, the opposition, to do what the government is supposed to do?
But the thing
It's
is that
just, it's just a
you
full
see
cop out.
the pictures with the man who owned Copa. So it's not that picture with Kamla. It's not a picture with nobody else. It's a picture with you, Keith.
Yeah, but
This
now,
man is
now, now that now the prostitution in the country is Kamala's problem. Um, and then is the idiot sycophants who, when he says something like that, will be like, yes. It's like, oh, you didn't be using all
yeah.
your brain at all, right? This man has been making all your for a fool. and nobody's asking the question. It's like, okay, but you seem to have extensive knowledge about the, the
Workings of,
plague of prostitution that is, affecting our country. So what are you going to do about it? Why don't you do something about it?
but remember all those human trafficking busts that happened in Woodbrook
Mm-hmm.
when um when we had a Top Cup. First place was the Chinese restaurant. That, by the way, the food is terrible. There, I bought some chicken once, and I swear to God, I didn't know if it was chicken, and I was like, "Nah, don't bother, I don't bother."
Yeah, because clearly,
It
clearly
was
their
so white.
specialty, the specialty is not Chinese food there. That is just a cover for something else.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, a white chicken, white chicken, like
Woo.
if they bleached the flipping chicken. I was like, nah, I'm good. I
No,
know
here
how
what
it
paranoia. Paranoia is a hell of a thing, because it have this Chinese restaurant downstairs from me, right? I live in an apartment building. I have a Chinese restaurant downstairs. And I stopped buying their Chinese food for like a year because I don't know, I felt like I stopped seeing stray dogs in the area. And I convinced myself that they were cooking the dogs. So yeah, this could just be paranoia to them.
But the thing is, though, they I don't think they cook it to serve it. I think they cook it to eat for themselves.
Yeah. All right. Okay. Um, this week we saw Trinidadians got, you know, you know, up in arms and got their panties in a bunch because of a Venezuelan migrant baby that tragically died on the high seas because of an altercation between one of those, illegal vessels that come in and out of our country bringing illegal immigrants, and one of the Coast Guard vessels. And Trinidadians were more up in arms about that than they were about I lost my train of thought. Oh, than they were about Miss World talking about the poverty issue in Trinidad and Tobago. And this is why we are going to continue to lose as a country, right? Now that issue was very, and I'm walking very gingerly because that issue was very tragic. It was very, very sad, right? But somehow we don't ever get up in arms about the things that really matter to us, because nobody was up in arms about the baby that head was split open in the C-section. Nobody was up in arms about the fact that we have women missing and going murdered. And
Nobody was up in arms or the lady who have to go for the reconstructive surgery. The next one that the hospital
yeah,
have to pay 100,000 for because they burn her with
they
some
burned her.
clot or something.
And I was like, what is going on? And then I looked at the response of Maduro. Maduro had the audacity to ask for a full-fledged investigation, right? And Hines quickly says, that we're going to have probes into what happened. And this is the same Minister of National Security who just said the other day that it is not his duty to make citizens feel safe, right? He is the same one when Maduro just said the other day to jump, he asked, how high? And I'm like, we are an upside down country.
Yeah. You know, if I was
We
Minister of
do
National
not jump
Security,
high
I
for
would have
our
it over
own
the law
people.
already.
We don't care when it's our own people missing, murdered, thrown in a repo like junk. We don't care if it's our women. who um risking their lives and their babies' lives when they go to have a baby at the hospital. We don't care, but we care so much about this, right? And everybody is forgetting the whole overarching issue, which is Venezuelans coming in and out of our country. That is an issue.
The thing is that the Coast Guard bring this on themselves in terms of they waiting so late to do proper patrols and security, border security, right? If they were doing all of this from the beginning, the Venezuelans would not have taken them for granted like that and be like, oh, the Coast Guard is nobody. Just ignore them. We know their times for patrols, so we will go around those times, right? So the Coast Guard kind of make themselves that pappy show jackass all on their own, right?
Yeah.
And then Don Polo compounded when his wife friend called her to get him
Where my counter?
a crew to the pleasure craft, right? All of that is thing that they make themselves look real bad for. When the Mauritius boat drift across the open ocean and end up in Tobago and they didn't have a vessel to go and pull it in, Tobagonian fishermen had to go and pull it in. Remember that?
Yeah, I
If they
remember
were
that.
patrolling, the vessel would not have reached quite Grenada too, because there was another one that drifted all the way to Grenada. Is that a Grenada or Barbados? One out of the two, right?
Yeah.
If they were patrolling like they're supposed to, Venezuelans wouldn't be like, all right, yeah. And you wouldn't see them all up Toko and Maplot, the whole country,
Yeah.
right?
Well, I mean, I hope though that this recent incident would be a cautionary tale and they would not take us for granted, because I don't want to be one of those citizens who says when the Coast Guard, when they seem now to be making a deliberate concerted effort to be like, okay, well, the effort's not good enough, right? I am happy because there was another interception recently where they intercepted 18 of them, and I was like, okay, right? So it'll be nice to hear of more reports. The thing about it is Trinidad is such a funny country. You always have to ask yourself why. Why it is all along the Coast Guard was not working, but now it seems as though all of a sudden.
Yeah.
So we have to be suspicious of everything. But
You wonder who
until
territory they encroaching on the Venezuelans, huh?
yeah, but until we know more about that, I'm going to say, I mean, I am happy, and I don't want to be one of the naysayers or people not encouraging them when they actually supposed to be doing what they were supposed to be uh, doing. I mean, if you have Keith and Kamala fighting over it,
Like two
Keith
little
saying,
children.
don't call them murderers, and Kamala saying that was murder and whatnot. And I was like, well, Kamala would not know either because she did a piss poor job at securing the nation's borders
Yeah.
herself.
Yeah.
Let's not have cat calling, pot calling kettle black. What did I just say?
Cat calling. But the thing is, it's like something is terribly wrong with the two of them. And I think it's time their supporters tell them, here, what, You see the boat earlier? All you either need to resign and go your separate ways, or let people do what they're supposed to do and all this stuff micromanaging. Why she feels she has to be the talking point for everybody in UNC? So nobody else in UNC capable of talking. And then they're giving her a speech to read, and it's like she's still messing up that, and oh god, it's like, Cams, you're too old now, right?
Yeah, but
You-
limbs,
You're
yeah.
just too old now because you what it is you're waiting on to be there talking, and then you just does it. You just does it. You don't have the zeal, you don't have the fight, you don't have the nothing to fight this man, right?
Yeah, well, no,
And
no, no. They floating high on the DB South win, with their 1,650 votes, they're floating very high on that.
Yeah,
Because
but the thing is,
somehow that is
if
supposed
UNC
to
was
reflect
honest with itself,
the great UNC party. Yes.
yeah, but that situation in DB South wasn't because of PNM that they saw because UNC neglect them. So what, UNC was starving their own corporation for money for them to put drains in that area?
And then they call it a win. Woo! We win. This is the change that we've been waiting for.
The change, the exchange, where they kill the last councillor and they replace him, that's the change.
Ah,
Because I don't understand. They're not making any sense at all. What change? First of all, you were supposed to be continuing the such good work the former councillor was doing, and clearly he wasn't doing a damn good job. If they South have no drains and mosquito larva floating around in the drains, that stagnant water, the box drains running at the same level, no slope. It's like who in the what going on with that regional corporation?
yeah. What's going on with all? Yeah.
And then you have this UNC Taruba idiot coming like a troll on Philip Live to talk to brag about, oh, you win. But who really win? Because the people in life ain't better in their South.
Huh.
I sure the all the problems that we highlighted, like all the mosquitoes and thing, they evolve and they're flying around now. And these people so dotage they wouldn't even realize when we had Zika, dengue, and all these mosquito-driven viruses, it's only UNC areas used to get it bad.
I know you can understand why.
Yes,
Because they
it's only
have the,
one
the,
areas
the
used to
waste
get it.
drainage.
Who
Yeah,
get
they have
plenty dengue in this country? It's not up north,
the waste drainage.
but they win. Okay.
Yeah, but that is an over sorry, that's an overall problem that we have, Lemma, this idea that you fight for a issue and then you win because you see in Trinidadians jumping up in the stands for carnival, right? And I'm like, all right, so you was allowed to have you're allowed to have your carnival, and then you have to ask yourself, to what end, right? The women who attended, how safe did you feel leaving the venue, right? To what end? When the next day after your jump up, was your food bill any cheaper or more reasonable or affordable, right?
No, but you jumping up there, but
Did,
you
did
could
it
still
did
get
it exactly did
spread it.
you jumping up and what?
And then they will be vexed if somebody in Beatum or Laventille have a Juve party.
Is the hypocrisy, Is the hypocrisy.
They will get vexed. Oh, why they must have that? The
That is
same
all they
way.
does study. That's what I say, no. That is all they does study, right? But we as a whole country cannot sacrifice 1 year to say there are other more important, pressing social issues. We as a whole, we as a collective, right, recognize that this money, these funds could be used for something else.
Yeah, look, yesterday a friend of mine posted up a picture of powder that you used to inhale it apparently, and it helps with your lung scarring for those who would have had COVID or any kind of respiratory ailments, right? You say you can't get the medication anymore in Trinidad, but bet your bottom dollar you get money for carnival. And that's the
Yeah.
foolishness that we are not serious about, because all of them who jumping up for carnival figure they're immune. Like I get COVID, I get my vaccine, I safe, right? I have extra money to burn, so the high food prices don't bother me. The the crime don't bother me. If I come out of the grandstand and my car's still there, well, woo! I have
Yeah,
top notch security.
yeah, yeah. We are upside down country.
Yeah.
Upside down country. And I'm looking at how brands as a whole and then countries have a whole as a whole are just pivoting and changing. What was considered professional in 2020 is no longer professional. It is now outdated because you cannot tell somebody that because they're no longer they're not in office, right? And they're working remotely or whatnot means that they're not professional when they're bringing the same level of production and input and whatnot to their job, you know. And I'm looking at, just the whole world dealing with COVID, figuring it out, and we still burning marijuana.
Mm-hmm.
Excuse
Yep.
me. Thursday
Yeah.
morning, police burned $763,000 worth of marijuana in the Santa Cruz
I hope
forest.
they left. I hope they left them with the 4 plants per person.
Right? Right?
Yeah. Every time police go do that, I go on their page and be like, God, well, they're wasting the product, wasting it. And then, of course, it doesn't help because we had less. The police service commission, the police service is headless.
Yeah.
And yesterday, right? Oh my God, this is so funny. Yesterday, I saw a friend share the Coast Guard monogram, and on it had their motto now, right?
Yeah.
Service before self. And I started to laugh when I saw that. I was like, oh my God, they actually have a motto. So I shared it and I was like, service before self. So I was like, I wonder if they just remember this all the time when they telling the fishermen, yeah, well, we are no fuel. So come and help all look for all the dead fisherman.
Yeah.
We missing brothers and sisters and your husband. We that's not service before self. I
Yeah.
wonder if when Don Polo sent out the vessel to help look for Madam with her pleasure craft disaster, she nearly gets she ass
Hmm.
raped. That's what nearly happened to she. If that was service for before self or service, or because your wife tell you, oh gosh, help my friend.
Aaron, I just feel sorry. I just feel sorry for anybody who is an upstanding member of the Coast Guard or the TTPS or whatnot, because they're really between a rock and a hard place, especially
Yeah,
if you want to work, you want to do what you're supposed to do, whatnot, but yet still all your instructions coming from idiots, right? Which means whenever you carry out these instructions, you look like an idiot. You get blamed by the public. It is not the individual coast guard men's responsibility to make sure that the vessels have fuel. But yeah, they get the brunt of the blame for it. That
that's
is
why I
really,
glad we
really
know Don
hard.
Polo name. Don Polo name
That's
is really
really
hard.
hard. When you're working for an incompetent supervisor or head of the Coast Guard, and just incompetence coming all the way down, and then you also have to take the blame as well. It's very, very unfortunate, right, that you don't ever get to excel in your job in a positive way
No.
because
And
you
then
for idiots.
I went and looked for the regiment on. The regiment on is to guard and protect. So I was like, God and protect who? Not their own, because if they're killing their own Curtis Marshall and Omar Samaru, who they really guarding? Right? Who they really protecting and guarding here?
Ooh.
And it's like, oh my God, all their mottos is things that you could just poke holes in it.
Yeah, it is. But again, it would always be the action of a few that makes it bad for everybody, yeah? Like seriously, I have no doubt whatsoever that we have
Yeah.
good men and women who really want to dedicate themselves to serving.
Yes, and the
But
regiment have a batch training now apparently because Friday when I went down there, I heard them chanting the little, whatever song it is they be singing thing, and I did like I listening and I was like, yes, and I'm in my head it's like, yes, and we kill our own. My husband is there like, behave yourself. It's like it's a good thing. I have on 4-inch heels and I'm eating. Otherwise, I would have run outside there to say, tape them and ball. Yes, new recruit. So you know what that means?
the man is antagonizing. You know why you doing that?
More Omar Samarus and more Curtis Marshalls once you uncover the wrong thing.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's unfortunate.
It
It's
is.
unfortunate.
And
And
they
trust me,
themselves don't want to find out who it is did it.
I
So
don't think that is the case. I think they are afraid that if they were to come forward to say of anything that they know of or anything that they observe, that they too could end up dead. Because if this person is powerful enough to do this, get away, silence the people, then yeah,
get away for now. That is get away for now. We will find out eventually.
yeah, yeah,
And the thing about it is, you see, once you get a government that is willing to go back, find out all who did all what, whether you're dead or not, strip you of whatever glory you had. That is
yeah,
what you need to be embarrassed in that grave too. So all
yeah,
your merits that you would have gotten should be stripped. If you are prime minister or attorney general and you are caught doing something, you should be stripped of that. Former attorney general, prosecuted, whatever,
yeah.
and
But we
embarrassed. The
we don't
same
live
way how
in
we
that
like to
kind of
embarrass
country.
all them little boys from Sea Lots. Hi, my name is so so so. I live in Production Avenue, blah blah blah. And you get catching us. That's how you had to
Yes,
embarrass them
but
too.
Keith Rowley's supposed to be the first one. My name is Keith Christopher Mugabe Sabga Rowley. And
I am a pathological liar.
yeah, because I
I'm
mean,
an
if you
abuser because
remember,
I love to blame people. That's abusive.
back in the day with the Monica Lewinsky scandal with Bill Clinton,
I did not
right?
have sexual relations with that woman.
Right. But the way the American people went after this because they felt that he held a position where he had to be accountable and they expected more of him. In Trinidad, we will be like, what happened? He just horny wife. That's not a big deal. And if this whole issue with Keith Rowley fathering two children turns out to be true, right? We are not going to get the media hounding him like that for him to resign or for his subsequent removal because we are not that kind of people. Well,
I
first of
want,
all, we have ideas in our head of what we think is right and wrong or whatever. So people gonna be like, that's not a big deal, right?
yeah,
And
but we
people,
don't actually have
people missing the
journalists.
point. Yeah, people missing the point that it's not about it's not a morality issue. The issue is if it is, this is a person who could lie and betray his wife and his country, right? Then what else can we not trust him to do? That is the issue. Is an issue of character.
Yeah. Yeah, but Trinidadians don't really hold anybody to character because look at
Only
how Harris could
Philip.
be attorney general and the man is just doing so much of shit. He's the same one that get
Only
catching
Philip.
on vigil talking about protect our women. But you are the attorney general. What do you not know what you're supposed to do or your ability to do it or know your power to do it? What is the problem, Paris? What is the issue? Do you not know?
He will say that is because of the UNC something.
He is like a blonde attorney general. All that's all he needs to do now. Just dye his hair blonde and boy,
I
oh my
I
god.
don't
He
know.
don't have the accent.
I don't know.
We need to dye his hair blonde because I mean the man just
He having moments.
spite. They should close down whatever law school he went to, because something wrong with that school.
No, it's not as you know. It's something wrong with us. We just accept too much nonsense as a people. Like
He has
nobody.
too much time on his hands to be every minute being on show, like he like the male peacock fluttering around. He has too much time on his hands and not enough time in them law books trying to bring up to amend the laws that need to be amended. My
Yeah.
God.
Yep. All right. So what else has happened? We have the mayor of San Fernando
Mister, let's not feed the homeless because we will
Rebranding.
encourage more people to get homeless. Come out
Yes,
with 50 police to walk up and down all over the place in just San Fernando.
yes, that is their new Sando anti-crime plan, which was launched in South, and basically it is
Another
new
1960 policy that they bring out from the books in 2022, because while our criminals have become more um,
advanced.
advanced, not necessarily with technology, but in terms of their approach to how they do crime and how they use communication and I guess some sort of plan, right? They come out with something from 1960 when colonial days when you could have blow the whistle and people would stop.
Yeah. So it's basically 50 officers walking the street, etc. And as I was discussing with Lima before we went live, this is why we will always be beat. Because I'm asking the question, so is this the whole entire plan? This is the plan in its entirety. Does this not also bleed into a network of cameras? There's no camera system. There is no rapid response. So if we do not have those 50 officers patrolling at different points at any given time, then crime could still reign,
Yeah,
right?
because rapid response where in San Fernando where it's gridlock traffic, what rapid response? You'll be able to run faster than the traffic moving there.
Yeah, I don't know. I just be like, whenever they come up with something,
I don't understand either. But first of all, I
Trinidad and Tobago, right? This new anti-crime initiative that was launched in San Fernando, do you think it can work, or do you think it needs to be part of a layered, more complex
first
crime
of
plan,
all, first of all, right?
anti-crime plan?
Those same 50 police officers, do they know all the, if let's say a criminal is to rob another jewelry store on High Street, do they know all the alternative exit routes that they could block to pin them in? Right?
Mm-hmm.
Do they know that? Do they
Right.
know all the different streets, the directions of all these different streets, one way, two way? If you take this particular street, if there's another street on that street that they could use to get off, is there a track somewhere that they could run through? Is there an abandoned building on that street that they could use to hide, stash
Right.
stuff?
And that is why I asked the question, how could you actually have a crime plan that does not include a network of cameras that is being monitored off-site remotely? so that they could say, well, they just left the jewelry store, and that you could actually know every single turn that they are making so that they cannot get away. This is 2022. Why are we continuing to do things like if it's 1940?
Because this is the PNM policing. Look at McDonald Jacobs. The man nowhere near the merit list, but is top cop. He must be only have 3 CXC subjects, and
I looked at a picture of his face in the newspaper
they just look for the
yesterday.
dumbest ones with the stupidest expressions, eh?
And I just looked at him and I said, I have no confidence. None.
Mm.
None.
He does not exude confidence. He does not say, wow, I feel safe with this man as top cop boy. Woo! Oh, good, Trinidad, we going places. The man is a joke. I asked some of his police officers, I was like, listen, all you get a top cop. No. How are you
Yeah,
feeling? And all of them
yeah,
was the same response. They stoops and they bought he's a puppet. So if your officers don't know that already, what the hell you really doing there?
yeah,
Resign as top cop. This man have no kind of integrity either. No balls,
yeah,
no nothing, because you know you are just a face there. You have no purpose whatsoever. You have not brought any consistent change to or added to what was already there. You have taken away, for that matter.
yeah.
And the fact that you could take away from it means that you don't have what it takes to be top cop. So therefore resign. They have to put
Hello.
somebody who is on the merit list. What is happening in this country? We have a jackass for attorney general, so he can't say, oh God, just put somebody on the merit list. That is what you need. All right, you don't want Gary, fine. Put somebody, but then Gary will have cause to sue, so you have no choice but to put Gary because he's the top of the merit list. The man never refused the position. So for Christ's sake, what is this all you doing? All these games they're playing and all this foolishness, there's no way around it. You have to put whoever is the top of the merit list, unless he refuses to do to the position and he puts it in writing. All they're doing is keeping back production, safety, the morale of your police officers and so forth. What it is wrong with this government?
Yeah, but they don't care about that, Lamar.
Until somebody running one of them people home and start to shoot up the place, then they will understand. Because Mr. Two surnames gonna be like, what? You serious? Oh my God! Get the elite squad. No, we just stopped sort. Oh, right. So what we have to use now? Who we going to put? Do we have any more elite squad police teams? Who we calling? We don't have a choice. This is how it is. They have to put somebody who is on the merit list. The person for that is Gary. Whether you like him or not, the man top the interview process, he's on top of the merit list. He has to. He has to be there. Whether you like him or not, you agreed with what he did or not. This is how it has to be. And if Gary doesn't want the position, he has to put it in writing and say, look, I'm not interested in this position anymore, blah, blah, blah. Then they have to go to the second person on the list. But right now we have somebody who came not even 10th on the list. Right? Did he even apply for the position? No. So it's like PNM just went and sniff out who is a PNM in the police service, who's an inspector, who's senior, and put them. Welcome back. So
Thank you.
yeah, I was saying that, PNM went and sniff out whoever is a PNM supporter in the police service who was more senior. I say, right, look, the man for the job there. And he would have been clueless, like, who, me? You want me? Yes, you. Is that one that they didn't put Alexander?
Oh, Lord.
I liked the idea. I prefer the idea of when they were fraternizing, not in our faces. But you see, openly doing it is like, all you have serious
Oh,
goal.
yeah. They have gumption, clearly. And I mean, we know for sure that nothing is being done anymore with the good or the interests of the citizens um in mind, right? They don't they don't care about national security, because you even have the Minister of National Security, he himself saying that it's not his responsibility to make you and me or make citizens feel safe. That is not his duty. And I was like, so what do you think you're there for then?
If ever at a point in time you had any kind of confidence in Fitzgerald Hines, you would have lost it completely there with that statement. If you didn't
No,
lose it before, right?
but what is happening to him? He's so trying to distance himself from women going missing and women being murdered and dumped in a repo, that you will go as far as to say that that is not your responsibility. And that is exactly why every minister in their capacities fail, because nobody wants to say the buck stops with me, right? Under my watch, not another woman is going to go missing, whatever, whatever. He is satisfied to say that his job is to make sure that the different arms and the different entities, they have what they need and whatnot and whatnot. But just
And
the other day, the
even
coast
that he
guard didn't have
failed
no
at.
fuel. So what are you
Yeah, but
telling me about?
even that he failed at, so he still doesn't know. And it's like this man is he is another McDonald Jacobs.
I think he was, Chad.
He's another McDonald Jacob.
I mean, at least before now, we didn't know McDonald Jacobs was a failure. He was just a nobody, right? And he just get pushed into the spotlight, right? We know he's being used or whatnot. But Fitzgerald Hines has been failing at every appointment for years,
Yeah.
for years.
That's why he's
And
PNM.
you don't at some point you don't go in and be like, oh gosh, right? I am in the sunset of my career. I want to be able to make a mark. I want to be able to say that I did something. I want to be able to excel at this. I could do this job, right? No,
He has
at
been
no point.
consistently failing. Okay, that's his only level of consistency there. Okay, consistently failing. Right down to his hair give up.
The Minister of National Security says that the security of citizens is not his duty. We are living it's on a comedy show.
How it is the police still driving him around? I don't know. They may drop you off some cliff somewhere because the shit he does be saying.
Right?
That must be just be one uncomfortable, right? You know, to drop he anywhere. It must be dead silent. Like they don't even play music. They don't nothing. They don't even whisper to each other loud enough for him to hear. I would love to be in a to get a ride one
He's
of these days to hear
such
the
an embarrassment. He's such an embarrassment
yes, and it started when he ran over his neighbor's dog.
to the country. Well, he's an embarrassment before that. That was just icing on the cake,
That man is
unfortunately.
just he's
Right?
a consistent failure.
Right? But nobody could be surprised if this is what we have at the helm of national security. Is it a wonder that we are failing so miserably?
Well, it's not our fault. It's a Keith fault because he don't want to get rid of them and put competent people because the drugs have to pass, the insecurity must happen. We must pay more for security and precepted guards and the whole shindig. Why would you want to put somebody competent there? Why?
Yeah.
So your 1% could be calling him every minute. Keith, I cannot get to bring in my drugs. The Coast Guard is doing their job and they're not listening to me anymore. They're listening to whoever it is you have as national security minister.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because for in the first place, you assume a position, you see all this fanfare and limelight and you run into the media. To me, that's not necessary. Because if you were doing your job, it would speak for itself. So
Yeah.
every day, Coast Guard telling people, illegal immigrants, yo, the box stop there. Turn around, skedaddle back to Venezuela. Our fishermen go missing. It permanently have Coast Guard down on that side, and they patrolling ever so often. The fishermen have a direct connection with the Coast Guard from their fishing depot thing. There's a working network in all the fishing depots where, right, they know 5 boats went out southeast, 4 came in. They call and they ask if everything okay. They ain't get no response. They call the Coast Guard. Coast Guard go out and find out, yeah, they was all right. They was pulling in the line or whatever the case is. Nothing, no major thing. That would speak for itself. You realize you're seeing more police patrols. You're seeing the horses out. You're seeing police officers casually walking around. You're seeing Coast Guard stopping illegal boats coming in with drugs and guns. You're arresting these people. That is thing that would speak for itself. Prison officers now, you could take into consideration, right, what is happening. You start dealing with whatever is happening on the inside of the jails. And you're bringing the court system to deal with that. So you're running your court system on 2 separate time zone, 24 hours to pull up all the outstanding cases and bring them up, and you're dealing with as of today onwards during the day. You wouldn't need to have no press conference and every minute you're like a fairy in the news talking about this, that, the other. Your work will talk for itself.
It
The
will
most
speak
media
better.
comment to ask you is, okay, well, we have seen some drastic changes. Any plans for the future? And all you'll have to tell them is, yes, look out for it. Because now your arms of security would be working in tandem. You're seeing the helicopter flying ever so often, right? Because guess what? Police need help on the ground, so you're seeing the NOC helicopter. Your air guard actually functional, because what the fuck the air guard actually doing now? Nobody has a clue what the air guard doing. What? They polishing the helicopters? The planes? What? We sell them? What they doing?
Yeah. You're right,
Right?
Limbs. You're right. The work
The
will speak for
regiment
itself.
actually being, utilized in a way they're supposed to be. You're improving things, you're introducing technology, the same way how the United States Marines and all of them people is rushed to get in the regiment. Their marine services and whatever, because of the technology. They could learn to be doctors. It's the same shit we're supposed to be trying to include in ours. So that the rest of the Caribbean supposed to rush to come to Trinidad to train, to use our barracks and to use our stuff, because we have it so good. That's what we're supposed to be doing,
Yeah.
improving our skill sets. So at any point in time we have any natural disaster, right, our National Guard get released, because the regiment have every goddamn thing. They could do everything from medical all the way to technology, whatever. The sky is the
Yeah.
limit. That's what it's supposed to be. That's what we're supposed to be trying to get for them. And then you find out who it is killed Omar Samaru and Curtis Marshall, and you dig up whoever grave it is who dead and go on and do it, and you embarrass that person, and you finally give those 2 people family closure.
Justice. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah. That song really wonderful, but it sounds like a fairy tale, at least under the PNM. Because I just be very curious. I really want to have that type of conversation with a PNM supporter to find out, why do you continue to vote for the PNM
Look, yeah, well, you might have one here.
when
Robert's
there is
asking where they getting
when
the
there
money
is
from.
nothing to
What do you mean where
wow,
they getting the money from? Look
wow.
how much money we spent 35 million. Well, 15 for carnival that we don't need. You don't think that gonna go towards that? The money we wasting on justice on time, the waste of time ambulance contract that we don't have enough ambulances for the entire country. You don't think that's enough money there? If you
No,
do
no,
all
that person
audit,
just prove what Philip does say. When we say that our national budget is $60 billion for the year, Trinidadians have no idea how much money that is. That is a lot of money, right? And our budget does not account for the amount of money that we lose through corruption and bribes and kickbacks and whatnot. What do you mean? Where we getting the money from?
Yeah.
This is not no extra money. This will be budgeted. It
Not
is
only
is
that,
almost $9 billion we spend in national security. Do you don't understand what that is? That is
no,
$9,000 million.
before we even get there, right? But let's say we go back and you investigate all our major projects, right? Like that shitty Kedona overpass right there, right? If you would check out that and you go through with quality control office, those quality surveyors, quantity surveyors, and you go through and you see, but wait, why we spend so much money on this? And it
Yeah,
wasn't supposed to cost this amount.
yeah,
You know, these things,
yeah,
because when you go through that kid on an overpass, that's real shit compared to how much money we spend, you know, for that little
yeah.
cramp up piece of bullshit.
And
That
that's
close
what has to happen.
go to.
When you were entrusted with public funds to do a job and the cost overruns was so gross and exaggerated, then you have to be made to answer.
Welcome to the club, Robert. I don't get pens either. As a matter of fact, actually, yeah, we get pens. You know which pens we get? The ones that blot up your fingers and mess up the books when you're writing in it. Because I work on a desk that I write. I don't have a computer. Yeah, so I write. And they put me there because I have a nice handwriting.
Yeah, but you see, the PNM is very good at getting people to believe that the reason why the country runs like shit is because they have no money,
Yeah.
right? That is not the case, right? A lot of it is mismanagement, right? Case in point, in the middle of a pandemic, when we have so many families starving and whatnot, you chose to have a carnival, right? And it's just incidences like this on different scales why our country is run like this. But it's not because we don't have money. Yes, they have failed to diversify the economy and to do more to generate revenues and stuff like that. But that is not the issue, right? A lot of it is mismanagement, right? People looking the other way. The fact that they are now looking to digitize the public service, and you could have gotten away with stealing chunks of money and there's no way to account for it because there's no way to go back and say, you understand? That is what is happening in our country. So people
Yeah.
believe that they have to accept the poor working conditions that they work under in government offices because government have no money. That is not so.
Yeah, because if you could
It is
find
not
35
so.
million for a carnival and all you don't have proper photocopying machines and ink in a government office, then clearly something wrong, right? And the fact that PNM does forever starve, and I'm using that word lightly, starve UNC, the other regional corporation, that in itself is a problem.
Hmm.
And again, if UNC was minding their business when they were in office, they would have put laws or legislation in place where that would
Place
not
to
have
make
been
sure that
possible.
cannot happen. Yeah, it cannot happen. That cannot
And
happen.
then the issue with Mosquito Creek, again, if UNC was minding their business, they could have put clauses in place where if a contractor do shit on a job and it start to leak or it start to mash up, then they are liable to fix it. We don't have to pump more money into that. But how you could do that? Because they calling for investigation into what's going on in Mosquito Creek with their same UNC financiers. So I was like, but that's not all your go-to contractor for everything, Junior Sammy? Or all your fallout because he more buddy with Rohanson and Andan Olia.
Yep. And let's not forget, no matter how much money they lost on that project, Mosquito Creek, whether they get that up and running in a year from now, 5 years from now, whatever, is the taxpayers just feel it, huh? Is we just feel it because they're still getting their over $100 million salary,
Mm-hmm.
whatever, right?
And
It
the
does not,
unfortunate
that does
part
not,
is all of
yeah,
them there not living in the area to be affected by it. So
yeah,
again,
Rohan Tananan, whether he failed or not, still gets his hefty salary every month, right? So failure means nothing to them.
well, That is what they voted for, right?
So
Because
tired.
this is tribal politics, eh? They gain what they vote for with the opposition and the government. Because we already knew what PNM offered. PNM don't give a damn about the electorate unless it's election time and they come in to fool you with vote for me now, vote for me, left foot, right foot nonsense, right? And closer to the election, that's when contracts start to give out and all kind of fanciness given out. UNC, on the other hand, is contract overarching contracts to put up one street light and you get more than what you're bargaining for, right? What you're supposed to get, right? And making millionaires out of people. And we still have no value for our money. We still flooding when it's rainy season. It don't even have to be rainy season for you to
Yeah.
flood.
Yeah. And that's the
And
thing.
it's still a problem. Look,
That's
we can even
exactly
keep
it.
the top cup.
Yeah. That is so right, Lemo. Right? Because Trinidadians would not have a problem with people getting contracts, even if some people became rich off of it. It's just the fact that it is always feel like if it was for nothing. So you give out millions of dollars in contracts in this area and it's still flooding and you still can't figure out the garbage collection and the grass still overrun,
Mm-hmm.
right? And it still have no street lights. So then what?
Ministry of Community Development still have car park load of vehicles rusting away there when they could just auction it off. All of the vehicles and the buses and the maxis rusting from the top. It have this
Or
black.
just put the least bit of effort into it, right? Pay a grab of straighteners and painters, mechanics, detailers to fix these things and put them back on the road. It will actually cost us cheaper than to let the entire valley just go and rust away.
Or they could just auction it off to their workers.
It's just so much wastage, right? And the guy who came to ask, yeah, but so where we getting the money from? Right? Everywhere you look in this country, there is wastage. That is where we getting the money from no longer mismanaging our funds.
He said he was
Taxpayers'
being
dollars.
sarcastic. He said he was being sarcastic.
Yeah.
But I mean,
But you see, we are a delicate bunch, yeah? Because that get me so mad. I could not detect your sarcasm, sir, right? And now I am highly annoyed.
yeah. Yeah.
Because he might have been joking, but that is what people has come here and say.
Yeah.
Where we get any money from, right?
Yeah.
And honestly believe that these standpipe politics that they just get, they deserve that, right?
Yeah. No, it's
All right,
true.
I'm tired now. I need to go back in my bed, right?
Yes. Yes, it's true. They are unable to critically think. Stephen Madison is saying that they are unable to critically think. And you wonder all this gate and free education and we still can't sit down and think, but where they getting money to pay salaries from? Where they getting money to host this carnival from? For a carnival that they said didn't have a budget. And then with
Yeah,
the public outcry, it dropped from 35 million to 15. Right? And then I had a PNM sicko fan come and tell me that's why David Welch dropped earlier, hot and sweaty, and gone back UNC. So I was like, you mean he do the same thing Gypsy do? Gypsy
yeah,
dropped UNC hot and sweaty and gone back PNM? That's what you're talking about?
yeah.
He never responded. Vishnu, the money for carnival coming from I don't know where. Up to now we don't know the full budget. We don't know where they pull it out from. We don't know if
Yeah.
it still have money in the HSF.
We don't know how much medication for COVID patients had to be forfeited for that, or
I wonder if
salaries
the nurses and
for
them getting anything
MTS.
for Valentine's from Terrence Boy.
Oh
Somebody say
Lord.
too toughy and too toughy. Well, they get Danish biscuits the last time.
And not even the good kind. That's what has that is what upset me, right? Wasn't even the good kind. Anyways.
Nurses, they work so hard. I mean, look how we treat them, right? They were going above and beyond, and then we force them to take the vaccine, and then we threaten them to lose their job if they don't take it. And then we get them biscuit and
Yeah.
wafers. We
Here
couldn't
was
get a next salary.
the same people who was saying clap for nurses, right? Everybody was like on like idiots on social media clapping for nurses. But since then I was like, but clapping not going on do anything.
Because
Why we not giving
I
these
said,
people
I
a
hope they
bump in
were
their
going
salary?
and
Why
clap.
we not giving them bonuses? Right?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, because remember what Caribbean island it is gave their public servants an extra salary.
It was St. Vincent and the Grenadines.
Right.
Yeah,
Well, they get
right. Took care of their people, right?
and we have
But
ours
we
looking at 2013 salaries.
we clapped for nurses and then take the money and went and jump up in the savannah because somehow that's gonna make us a better people. This is why I don't understand, eh? What was the intrinsic value added to us as a people from this carnival, right? Can we measure what was gained?
We and all
Can
still don't
we
know what was gained yet.
can we measure, right? Because they always want to talk about, oh, Carnival is bringing so much money, whatnot. How much tourists we had coming to our country this year? Or
Yeah,
anybody coming for Carnival this year?
nobody.
Right.
So far,
So that
nobody.
was not a bump in revenue for hoteliers, for people with Airbnb or hostels, for people with rentals, car services, or taxi cab services. So where was the advantage? I could somebody please make me understand?
We not even seeing how Angostura used to go and stick up all their banners about drink alcohol and rum, rum, rum all over the place. We don't have any visitors. And what have they lifted any restrictions to come in the country? You still have to have that negative PCR test, or do you have to be secretly positive but be rich and wealthy to come in?
Oh no, well, we still have the two sets of rules running
Oh,
side by side. So yes, if you're a normal individual, you have to come with you have to be fully vaccinated with your TT pass and your negative
negative.
PCR test.
Right.
But if you are fully vaccinated but positive but rich, it's a totally different law for you.
And you're coming in through Panama or some, other avenue, not regularly
Yeah,
used, where we could
yeah.
find out for sure who you are.
Oh yeah, because Terence Yeltsing said he could never get that information, but he was able to squeeze the testicles of every male in Trinidad and Tobago to go and talk shit on Trevor Noah's show, right?
Yeah.
I can't. I can't. I can't. And
Good
you'd have
morning,
to laugh.
Trinidad and Tobago.
You'd have to laugh because you'll end up crying. And today is not a day to be crying. Today is a day of love. I hope everybody have somebody to spend their Valentine's Day with.
Unless you're crying because of your Valentine.
Well, Sharon, like Sharon this morning, right?
Oh God.
So, I mean, that is the price for public life. and for living in luxury.
The perks outweigh the the moral code. I don't know.
As you
Um,
put,
that compass broken.
So, guys, I think
Oh,
that's it.
alright, guys. Yeah, I think I think that's it. For Sharon.
Where you go? So, good morning to all our peppers. Um,
Good morning to any new viewers or anybody new to the show this morning. Um, excuse all the coughing and all of that. I was eating
yeah.
cricks, by the way, because I'm now catching back myself. And apparently, I woke up this morning like starving.
But I say Lima brave, Lima find the driest food to eat with a cough. Any minute you get a parcel.
Yeah, I know, but cricks is a big spot when you're hungry sometimes. But so,
Um,
guys, come to the end of the show.
yeah, this morning was light. We didn't go into anything too heavy.
No, no. If
But
anybody knows Don Polo, tell him as we calling up his name.
I sure he just be hearing it though. It's like
It's going
so
back in
he
my
just be hearing
pictures on the phone, and I saw that photo with two of them pointing two different directions. I read the little article that said who he was in, and then I read it. I was like, but hey, that is Don Polo. Oh, that is Don
it.
Polo. Okay, cool. I know what he looked like now.
Oh wow.
Commanding officer.
Anyways,
So, guys, enjoy the rest of your Valentine. You didn't get your wife or your significant other her gift or whatever, you still have time.
yeah, you still have time. You still have time to make it count in a meaningful way too, huh?
Yeah.
I mean, sometimes as you taught that count, so you could cook something real nice, some flowers. You could
Yeah.
hit me up for recipes. I may charge you for it.
So just don't leave your loved one out in the cold, okay? Keith, same to you, okay? Apologize to Sharon.
Hmm. Is that easy though?
Well, I guess I know she was accepting all the time with the L. She expecting miracles now.
Huh.
So
Guys, have a good day. Thanks for spending this time with us. It was a good show.
yes. So until Wednesday. Bye.